I thought I would do something a little bit different this time. Rather than show you the completed project at the beginning of the video, as I usually do, I usually tag that on after I've completed the project, I thought I would just kind of take you along the whole way here and see how this works out. I was inspired by John Hendricks, who posted a picture on my Facebook page. If you're not on my Facebook page, you really should check it out, the Woodworking for Mere Mortals Facebook page. Anyways, he posted a chips and dip tray on there that was really cool, and it kind of got me thinking about how I could make my own chips and dip tray, and I decided to make it out of reclaimed lumber. These are several 2x4s. I actually have more, well, up here in my loft. I love this loft area, but I've got a bunch of them up there that I saved from, I was helping out my neighbor over this way. I was helping him remodel a bathroom, and we needed to pull up a bunch of old studs that were in the floor, and so I thought, well, I'll save those things, maybe someday I can use them. So that's what I'm going to use. There's got a, you know, they're rough, they've got a lot of holes in them, and of course I had to search through it and find all of the nails that were sticking out of it, but I think there's enough wood here that I can make something with it. My plan is to clean these up, square them off, and glue them together into one piece, and that'll be the tray, and then I can cut out a shape in which I can put a couple of bowls for dip, and carve out the centerpiece for the chips. And here's the bowls that I want to use for the dip. I'd like to have 2 of them on there, well, just because I like dip. And, well, who doesn't? And so these are good bowls because they're shorter than the 2x4s, so they'll be able to sit down in those holes nicely. And there are some fairly decent sections. I've made them, a little over 24, 25 inches long. I need to square those up, and I want to plane them down a little bit to smooth that up. I don't know if I've ever shown you my jointer because, well, really I don't use it that often. I should use it more often, but this is my jointer. This is a Craftsman jointer, and I picked it up off of Craigslist with the stand. It came with all of this, and the guy was selling it for $100, and it was all rusted, and I just cleaned it up, and hey, it works out pretty well. You could probably do this without a jointer, but the jointer really gives me these nice seams here that joint up perfectly. So now I'm going to use 4 of these, glue those all together, then I'll plane them down and cut it out. And now I'm just clamping it all together. And here's my entire planed down piece. And so I spent a lot of time trying to come up with a design for this. I wanted to make sure I had something I liked. So I just kind of like to design things out in Illustrator. And this is what I've come up with. It sort of looks like a game controller, I suppose. And I don't know, this is something you could certainly just make a freeform design. I actually thought about doing that too. But nothing was really striking me. But the nice thing about this is, hey, I can put hot salsa over here and mild salsa over here. Well, I've got the shape all cut out on the bandsaw, and I've done some kind of preliminary sanding on this. Now I need to cut out these 3 holes, and I'm going to use my scroll saw for that. I hope I can get them, pretty circular. If you don't have a bandsaw or scroll saw, you could certainly do this entire project with just a handheld jigsaw. Well, it took me about an hour and a half to cut out these 2 holes. Well, I've got them cut. I still need to sand them out and make them a little bit more round, but oh man, I'm just horrible at my scroll saw, and I just keep breaking blades and breaking blades and breaking blades, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's an old scroll saw, so I'm sure that's part of the problem, and I could probably use thicker blades, I'm sure, because this is a lot of material to cut through, but man, oh man, what a pain. I don't know. Hey, Sheila, Scroll Girl, help me out here. Yep, I decided to switch over to my handheld jigsaw. Well, there it is. That went a lot faster using my handheld jigsaw. Unfortunately, it's going to require a lot of sanding on the insides, and I'd like to use some sort of a drum sander like this one, but all of mine are only 1 inch big, or, you know, thick, so I need to get a new one. And also, unfortunately, this is Easter Sunday, so everything is closed. And it's usually about this time that I start to panic a little bit, wondering if I'm going to complete this project and the video so that I can upload it by Friday. Well, because I don't really want to waste any more time, it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to use a hole saw, and I've just sprayed some spray mount onto a piece of sandpaper, and I'm going to try and make my own little drum sander. I hope this works. Well, here's my little jig. It seems to be working out well. I just cut a hole into a sacrificial piece down here, and I think I can sand with this. You know, as long as that sandpaper holds out, I'll be all right. Well, my sandpaper lasted just long enough, and then finally it just fell apart. But it lasted long enough to where I got some really nice smooth circles here. So, hey, I can proceed. I rounded over all of the edges on both sides with the exception of this side. This is the bottom of the tray. And what I want to do is I want to just cut a little bit of a rabbet around there in which I can put a plywood panel. And there's my circle that will fit down, well, into there like that. And I ended up using my jigsaw to cut that because, well, here's what happened to my bandsaw. Yeah, man, it broke. And wow, whenever that bandsaw breaks, it just scares the hell out of me. It just goes bang and it's gone. All right, so all I need to do now is glue this disc down, and you know, I just want to make sure that the grain is going the right way. And if you'll notice, well, it doesn't exactly fit in there correctly, but if you go on this side, hey, it looks fine. Well, I spent a lot of time sanding with fine sandpaper to smooth everything out. Well, there you have it. There's the completed chips and dip tray made with recycled 2x4s. Nom nom nom. The dip's pretty good. Hey, visit my website, woodworkingformeremortals.com.